I'm going to share with you a few things that, especially when it comes to our children, when they get married, and if anyone is here not married, inshallah, these are a few things you have to keep in mind that are considered as sort of red flags before you get married. The very first thing that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has always reminded us is that there are two things that should be at the highest level when you are searching for another person, and that is religion, deen, and akhlaq. Like when the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that a woman is married for 4 reasons, and then he says give preference to religion over all the other things. Deen is not the superficial deen that we see today. A person is coming to the masjid, khalas, they are religious. No, that's not religion only. And not only that, but you have to look at the akhlaq of a Muslim. Number 2, I would say is, which is very, very important, is see how they treat their parents. Subhanallah, one day I went to go conduct a marriage and a nikah. And right after the nikah was over, after I had just conducted the aqdul nikah and officiated the marriage, the groom was sitting over there and he said something very disrespectful to his mother. Right before the bride came, I sat down with that young man and I told him, I said, here you are disrespecting your mother on probably the most happiest day of your life. How are you going to treat your wife? Number 3, often people tell me, down the road they will change. And let me make this one thing very clear. Do not ever have anyone in your family get married based on potential changes. It does not work. I remember I had a sister who came to my office a long time ago. Wallahi, at the end I told her, I said, sister, my honest, humble opinion to you is, don't get married. You should not get married to this man. It's not, you both are two entirely different people. Don't. And she said, no, don't worry, he will change. That was her words. 3 months later, she was in my office for a divorce. Number 3, which is a very important red flag in many cases, is that if the man or the woman is willing to commit haram before the marriage or before the aqdul nikah, then usually that is a red flag that they may do something afterwards. If, once again, as I said earlier, you're trying to always put on your best personality, your best, character forward when you're meeting someone new. And in that, if you're showing them that you have absolutely no regards for deen and you're willing to commit haram even before the aqdul nikah is taking place, then usually the case is that they will also push each other to commit haram even afterwards. 2 more things, and then inshallah we'll finish. Number 5 is, if the person is considered as a people pleaser, meaning that they always are obsessed about pleasing everyone. Yes. Anyone asks them a question, yes. Then usually I will say that do not ever, especially for the daughters, do not ever give your daughter to that kind of person. And the last thing I will say is that before we have our kids getting married, always one thing that you have to look at when it comes to the potential spouse is, what is the type of company that they keep? SubhanAllah, I've done marriage counseling and marriage, one thing I usually often ask is, would you be okay? Like, what is your current situation? Like, what is your current company like? And they would say that where sometimes the man or the woman, they have a very open kind of relationship. They're open with everyone and so forth. And that usually can have an impact after your marriage. So imagine one person is, for example, the woman is a woman who is, very open in her relationship, okay? While she went to school and while she went to college and so forth, she has a very open relationship with men and women and so forth. And the husband does not like that. Usually that can become a very serious problem after marriage. That is why you have to always look at the type of company.